Been kind of struggling a little bit today about what to start our first video off with, um, but I've kind of prayed about it, and this has been something that's been on me all day today, and I feel like there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. And I've got a scripture I want to read to you, and I feel like I want to start with this. Jeremiah 29:11. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." In 1992, um, I had a really rough year that year, and I went through a lot of things. I was 25 years old, and I had a really, really rough year. And I made some bad choices and some really bad decisions, and I shamed myself, shamed my family, went through a lot of things. And January the 3rd of 1993, I made a decision that my family would have been better off without me. I made a decision that I would have been better off not being here. So I made a choice. I wrote a letter to my family telling them I was sorry for everything and what all I wanted done. And I remember that day really well. I took a bunch of pills. I took a lot of pills. And I had every intentions of ending my life that day. Um, Somewhere along the line, um, I was um, in a place, and I locked myself in this place, and um, somehow or another, somebody found me. Um, this person has never been seen since. I don't even remember the person, but apparently she got a hold of. It was a female, and said she was a nurse. Got a hold of my dad. Somehow or another, got his phone number and called him up and said that she told him that she was a nurse and that she had found me and that I was in really bad shape and that they needed to get to me. And anyway, he had contacted my mother because I was no longer living with my wife and children at the time. We were split up. In fact, we were in the process of being divorced. And they had got a hold of me and found me. Um, I was in really bad shape at that time. And they found the note and everything and got me medical help. And only thing I do know is I remember seeing some really, really dark stuff. And I remember seeing some things that I know I don't ever want to see again. I was raised in a Christian home. At that time, um, I thought I was a Christian, um, but I learned later I wasn't. But I saw some really dark things and some things that I would never want anybody to see what I experienced that day. I'm not saying I had a near death experience, but I experienced something. But anyway, the person that found me was nowhere around whenever they got to me. Um, she had told them that she was a nurse. They did say that she sounded like a black female, and that she told them she was a nurse, but she wasn't there when they got to me. Uh, Medical people said I was lucky to be alive. Um, anyway, um, I just know the disappointment and everything that my family went through. They didn't understand. I was kind of disappointed at first that I didn't succeed. But then I went through a stage depression because I didn't succeed, but then I went through a stage of depression because I did it. Um, Nobody understood. No matter, it's one of the things you can't explain to people why you do it. But I had to face my parents, and my family, and then all my friends. It was like they were really disappointed. But I guess the reason I'm talking about this today is because I feel like there's somebody out there today while you're watching this video is because you're going through something. Maybe you're being bullied at work, at school, uh, wherever you are, and you don't see like you don't seem to see that there's a way out, and this seems to be your only option. Well, I'm here to tell you today that's not your option. Taking your life, is not your option. There's plenty of options. First of all, you can go talk to someone. You can go tell someone about what's going on. Um, you can talk to somebody about it. You can go tell somebody what's going on. You can go tell if it's another student at school. You can go tell faculty about it. If it's at a job, you can go tell your employer, your boss, whoever, whatever you need to do. But taking your life is not the answer. A few years ago, I had a nephew that had an issue with a girlfriend, and it didn't go his way, so he put a gun to his head and took his life. It devastated our family. None of us ever saw it coming. 26 years old, he was about the same age as I was back then, and he took his life. All over a girl. It's not worth it. Guys, just because a girl doesn't like you doesn't mean you should take your life. And girls, same way. Just because a guy doesn't like you, rejects you, move on. There's somebody else out there for you. There's no reason for anybody to have to go through stuff like that. Move on. Don't deal with stuff like that. You're worthy. You're good. You're a beautiful person. I don't even know you, but you're better than that. Don't go through that. Don't put your family through it. Because, if you succeed and you move on, your family's here and has to deal with all the what ifs and the wondering why and all that. They're here to deal with all the hurt and have to pick up the pieces. But call for help. There's hotlines out there for suicide prevention, and you can call a church somewhere and talk to clergy. There's counselors out there you can call, talk to. There's hotlines available. You don't have to leave your name or anything like that, but call somebody and talk to them. I'll put a link down below to some of those numbers. Call them. Talk to somebody. If you're being picked on, you're being bullied, talk to somebody. Listen, God's got a plan for you. And whatever you're going through, this shall pass. This will pass too. Give it time. Walk away from it. Don't get in that car and drive it, somewhere and get in trouble and hurt yourself. Don't pick up that gun, put it to your head. Don't put a knife or a razor blade to your wrist. Don't drink that alcohol and mix it with drugs. Don't overdose. Don't do what I tried to do. Don't do that stuff. Don't put a rope around you. Don't do any of that stuff because, one, you don't want your family to find you that way. You don't want a friend to find you that way. You don't want your children to find you that way. Don't do things that's going to hurt your family. Even if you don't succeed, you could do damage to yourself, and then somebody's got to take care of you. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to your family. Look, I think all the time about what I did to myself and what I did to my family. And I think about what my nephew did, and he's not here, but my sister is. And I realize what kind of pain that caused her, and what that did to his father and his sister, and what that did to my parents, his grandparents. Nobody has ever understood that, all because of a girl. And this happens every day. Thousands and thousands of people die at their own hands every day. So today, I just want you to stop and think and go tell somebody what you're going through. Sometimes it helps just to talk. So take a minute and pick up the phone and call somebody and tell them, listen, I'm being bullied or I need somebody to talk to. Depression is real. I know that. I deal with it myself sometimes. So get you a counselor. Go see somebody. There's nothing wrong with having to take a pill to get you through it that if you need to. You know, go see somebody. Go to a doctor. Go do whatever. But don't cause harm to yourself. I just felt real burdened today that I needed to make my first video about something like this. That happened to me in 1993, and it's still to me really fresh. I think about it all the time, but I don't ever think about I need to hurt myself. I think about it because I believe, what I went through, I can use to help somebody else. So I just want to leave you today with, hey, you're worth it. You're better than that. You were put here on this earth for a reason. And if somebody's hurting you, then get help and do something about it. You don't have to hurt yourself. Don't hurt them. Get help and move on because you've got a plan and a purpose for being here. I'm going to leave some links below for you to click on and call somebody if you need help. And do me a favor. Don't just like and subscribe to my video, but leave a comment down below. Put below where you're from. I'd like to hear from where people are from. But I want to thank you, first of all, for taking the time out to listen to my video and for watching it. And I want to tell you, God bless you. And God has got a plan for you. God has a plan for you from the moment you were thought about, from the moment you were brought into this world. God had a plan way before that. So his intention was not for you to come into this world and for you to take your own life. So don't let somebody ruin your day. Don't let somebody else rain on your day. So thank you for taking the time out for listening to me today. God bless you and have a wonderful